absolute degeneracy. Anyhow, let's take a look at how the front lines are doing right now. Would you look at that? They haven't made a single breakthrough. I'm gonna go back to sleep. I'll check the front lines in a few hours. Hi, I'm Old, and in today's HOI4 video, you shall experience with me a good old-fashioned 2016 vintage Soviet Focus 3. It's honestly amazing that it hasn't been changed yet. Our story begins where all sad things begin, in a single-player lobby of HOI4. In 1936, the Soviet Union is huge. Luckily for us, we can ignore almost everything east of the Urals, as the Soviet experience in HOI4 boils down to killing Germany. Well, the Japanese might try to pull off some shenanigans in the east, but that can be dealt with by stationing 6 divisions in Vladivostok. When people see the situation of the Soviet Union in 1936, one question rises to their mind.
Do I shoot and imprison everyone?
Or not? The answer is,
we shoot and imprison everyone so Stalin can stay in power and we can enjoy the most vanilla Soviet experience imaginable.
Because this is our original 1.0 HOI4 Focus tree, it means that some focuses take forever to complete, such as the Great Purge focus, as it takes a whopping 210 days to complete. You do get to decide who to kill and imprison while doing this focus, which will determine who will be your generals, admirals and advisors during the playthrough. Which is pretty nice, I guess, as it at least adds some interactability to this long ass focus. The first choice I get to make during the Great Purge is which one of my political advisors I imprison or kill. I can imprison Kalinin, Khrushchev aka Nikki, or spend 75 political power, which means that none of my advisors get imprisoned. Or I can stop the Great Purge, which I will obviously not do, as it will cause a civil war and lead me down a very unhistoric path. I will imprison Kalinin because the guy is just kinda useless. So bye bye Kalinin, go have fun with your wife in the gulag. The second choice I get to make during the purge is which one of my big brain generals do I kill. I'll shoot Rokossovsky because Tukachevsky is far too good of a marshal to be shot. The third and last choice I get to make during the purge is related to the Air Force and Navy. The event is called the Trial of the 21. In the real world, the Trial of the 21 was a typical purge of prominent and influential people in the Soviet Union whom Stalin found to be a bit suspicious for one reason or another, but for some reason in this version of HOI4 it is an event which determines who will remain as your admirals and naval and air advisors. I'll choose the first purge option as it allows me to employ an air support advisor. The Great Purge focus is finally finished, and as a reward I get to enjoy the effects of the Great Purge, which heavily weakens my armed forces by reducing the army's organization, reducing factory output, making training of troops slower, reducing the amount of volunteers I can send, and by reducing the land doctrine research speed. These effects will slowly but surely wither away until they completely disappear in 1940. The Spanish Civil War began on the 17th of July 1936, and I, the custodian of the Soviet Union, dispatched a 5-division volunteer force to help out the Republic of Spain in their struggle against fascism. The 1st of August 1936, my volunteer force arrived in Spain. The force consists of 4 mountaineer divisions and 1 light tank division, and it is commanded by General Zhukov. The Spanish Civil War is a pretty simple affair. Encircle as many enemy troops as you can, whenever and wherever you can. I'll start in the south as there are some good encirclement opportunities there. Look at that. Nice. They're all encircled, now we just kill them. Look at that. Nice. Now I just repeat this encirclement process a few times, winning this war for the Republicans. On 14th of March 1938, fascist Spain surrendered, and in around 2 months, in April, the anarchist uprising in Catalonia was crushed, bringing an end to the Spanish Civil War. As the Spanish Civil War drew to a close, the Republic of Spain begged me to become their protector, and I, of course, accepted their request, after which I proceeded to kindly ask if they could put the communists in charge of their nation, and the Spanish people, of course, accepted my request, as they had come to realize the benefits of communism during their struggle against fascism. I had created the NK... Wait, what the fuck? Who the hell are you? I have been advised by my friends from the NKVD to tell you that the NKVD did not infiltrate the government of the Republic of Spain with the intent of increasing the communist influence in their government. All accusations are baseless attempts by foreign powers to discredit the noble service the brave men and women of the NKVD provide to our Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. The friends of mine from the NKVD have also told me to inform you that if you wish to support the brave men and women of the NKVD, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, press the bell button, share this video, and leave a like and a comment saying, "I support the brave men and women of the NKVD. NKVD. Alright, anyhow, thank you. After the Spanish Civil War, I was really bored, as the Soviet focuses pretty much do nothing except give me bonuses of factories, and I was planning to complete my Western expansion focuses in 1940 and 1941. So, to alleviate my boredom, I chose to send some volunteers to aid China, who had been fighting against Japan since the summer of 1937. In total, I sent 12 mountaineer divisions to help out China. I could send that many volunteer divisions, as I sent 6 divisions to Nationalist China, 4 to Communist China, and 2 to Xinjiang. Admittedly, this is a bit of a cheesy strategy, but hey, I could have always sent volunteer divisions to every single Chinese faction, but I didn't, because that would have been a bit too overpowered now, wouldn't it? By late December, all the volunteers had arrived in China, and I immediately started working on some encirclements of Japanese units. After around a month of my volunteers arriving to China, I had managed to encircle 16 Japanese divisions, and I obviously proceeded to kill them all during the following few weeks with the help of the Chinese. After inflicting a crushing defeat on the Japanese and helping the Chinese repel a few naval invasions, I developed a highly ambitious plan to destroy the Japanese army. Introducing Operation Icarus. Okay, I figured out that 12 divisions is enough for me to push from where the front lines currently sit straight into the Mongolian border like this. If I manage to pull off a push like that, I can pretty much trap the majority of the Japanese army into the Shaanxi and Outer Mongolia regions of China. Admittedly, this is a pretty ambitious plan, as I have to capture around 20 tiles. But let's get trying and see how it goes. Look at that! That is one huge encirclement. Now we just gotta empty it out of the Japanese soldiers. Alright, that was pretty good. Might have been one of the biggest encirclements I've ever pulled off. Next I'm just going to help the Chinese push the Japanese out of China and Korea, which should bring an end to this war, and pushing now should be very easy as the Japanese have barely anyone left to hold the line. The Japanese have lost, My forces and those of the Chinese are currently cleaning up some Japanese stragglers. Oh, and there it is. Victory has been officially achieved and China is safe. Now it's my time to once again fall into a slumber while I wait for some focuses to complete. January 1940. Just a few months ago, World War II started as Germany invaded Poland in September of 1939. And, as per my agreement with Germany, I annexed Eastern Poland into the Soviet Union. Right now, I'm in the process of nicely asking the Baltic states to join the Soviet Union. And they will happily accept my request to join the Soviet Union. And now, it's time to invade Finland. I launched my invasion of Finland on 14th of April 1940, and the invasion was over in a month because, unlike the real generals of the Soviet Union during the Winter War, my brain contains these wacky things called brain cells, which allow my brain to do a crazy thing called thinking. Anyhow, I annexed Karelia from Finland while puppeting the rest. I'm puppeting Finland because, as long as I don't call them into the war against Germany, they will function as a neutral barrier that protects my northern flank. And now, I'm simply going to wait for the Germans to invade me. And by the way, I'm not taking Bessarabia because I forgot to annex it when recording the footage for this video. Silly me. It has begun. Germany declared war on 27th of November 1941, while the rest of the Axis countries joined the war in the following few days. From my allies and puppets, I only called in Mongolia to the war, as Spain and Finland are more useful to me as neutral buffer zones. They also function as baits of sort that draw Axis forces to their borders, meaning that I need to deal with less enemy divisions on the Eastern Front. Now, my war plan is incredibly simple. Defend. All my divisions are max size and fully equipped. I've got 72, 53 with infantry divisions on the front lines and 20 more in the training. The front line with the Axis is also defended by 12, 53 with tank and mountaineer divisions. So yeah, I'm just gonna hold the line until the Axis runs out of manpower and equipment. Now would you look at that, the line is holding. What a surprise. This is what the war against Germany will be like for the next year or so. Just sitting still, watching Axis forces getting slaughtered. How exciting. In about the duration of a year, about 8 million Axis soldiers have died, foolishly trying to crush the Red Army. And now, it is time for a grand offensive, as they have barely any men or equipment left in any of their divisions. And so it begins. Yeah, this is really not that exciting either. I'm just kind of brainlessly ramming my units to theirs. A bit over a month has now passed. My great offensive has just broken the Germans' northern lines, and my elite mountaineers and tank divisions are streaming into Pomerania, and from there onwards to Berlin and to victory. And look at that! Berlin has been captured on 17th of April 1943. The Allies are carrying out a D-Day and Italy is getting navally invaded to death. So, very bluntly put it, this war is won. Now I just need to push until the Axis capitulates. Around 2 months after the fall of Berlin, Germany capitulated and the rest of the Axis fell in a month and a half, or in other words, in 18th of June 1943. In the peace treaty I puppeted Greater Germany. I don't know why or how this is possible, but there it is, in all of its socialist communist glory. I also puppeted Romania, Albania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Croatia, Moldavia and Czechoslovakia, that is actually just Slovakia, but don't tell them that. And I annexed Denmark, Sicily and Sardinia. I just want to mention that the UK puppeted every French colony and created a French puppet for itself, while France was part of the Allies. This is where the video ends, as I am not too interested in fighting against Japan, whom I already helped to defeat in China. So let me just give you a quick review of the Soviet focus tree here in the very end. It's bad, just like all the original HOI4 focus trees. There's just nothing interesting to do, and the focus tree lacks any flavor, which makes it feel almost like a generic focus tree. It's just simply made out of focuses that give you free factories, modifiers, war goals, and research buffs and slots. It is very basic, very bare bones, and very boring. And I'm very happy that they are changing it in the next big update. And also I'm kinda confused why it has taken them this long to update the Soviet focus tree. By the way, fun fact, during this playthrough I got the achievement The Revolution Triumphant, which you get when you puppet Germany as the Soviet Union. This achievement is very easy to get, as I assume most of you already know, and me unlocking it only now just kinda shows how little interest I've had playing as the Soviet Union in unmodded HOI4. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe, all those things, and see you in a month, or something like that. The next video is gonna be about coffee. You heard right, coffee. Cafe. Yeah. Well, anyways, bye bye.